And we've spoken about the forecast. 10 feet waves. You're going to
Oh
send
my!
Pierre-Louis Costes out in 10 feet Fronton to decide the world title. And do you know who he's up against, Manny? It's either Jared Houston or Eder Luciano. And these two guys are in the water now. Well, what must Hub be thinking? What must Pierre be thinking?
I mean, whatever happens between these two guys, it is PLC who has to deal with it. And Jared Houston spent some time here at Fronton, so he has some inside knowledge about this wave. Eder Luciano, he is hungry as well. He is a contest machine from Brazil. He's not going to let anything down. He's going to give it all 110%. Jeff Hubbard talking to the camera saying, oh, wait, what was that? A little hug from Root saying,
yeah, look, until tomorrow.
until tomorrow. You cannot miss tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jeff Hubbard, everybody understands the situation down here, which is.
Yeah, you must have seen that last wave. Jeff Hubbard was sitting there watching with his world title on the line. Elliot Morales got an amazing barrel, needed an 8.4. But up and right in now, I think we've got, this is a replay, I understand.
Oh, that looks like, I believe.
No, it's Jared Houston.
Yes.
Look out, he's lost a fin.
Well, he went ahead and strapped on even heavier fin straps because boards are being,
He's still got them.
leashes are broken off. And now Jared Houston's fins comes off, but a lot of the guys now are putting on these heavy-duty fin tethers. So if the fin does come off, they won't lose it. We saw earlier today Ryan Hardy lost a fin completely off his foot, and he had to paddle over to Dave Winchester to pick up another fin. So Jared Houston lost his fin, but is still on his foot. So he grabs it, puts it on, and out he goes. Jared Houston, first wave comes in at a 5.5.
That's a good solid start. We've seen the second scoring wave in most heats today has been around that 5 or 6 point score. So in Jared's mind, that would be a strong start to his heat campaign. And still 27 minutes to go, but he'd be happy. He's still got his fins, but he's back out there in the water with a strong wave under his belt. Here's the highlight. Nice. He's got the dry hair that you love, Manny, but he gets under. Nice roll. Probably not as powerful as he would have liked. To see the fin blast off with the power of the wave, you just lose sight of how powerful this wave is, Manny.
I mean, there's so much water moving out here, and it's just one of those waves where you have to be on your game. It is one of those waves where one false move can send you straight to the hospital. Even though it is high tide here, a lot of water is moving on top of the reef, and it is still shallow. A lot of the guys out there taking photos, when they have to go under a wave, they have nowhere to hide. It is just the reef and whitewash coming at you. Think now having a bodyboard in your hands and having to duck under one of those things. There's nowhere to hide. You have to take it and just get washed around in this heavy, heavy whitewash. It is definitely one of the most intense waves on the planet and one of the best waves for bodyboarding, and all the competitors love it.
Oh, they do, and they said we're so fortunate to have this as our final event for our World Tour, which is just shaping up as an amazing fairy tale to what's been an amazing year. But we still have Jared Houston in the water. You know, he would be thinking in the back of his head, he wants to have a say in this world title. He can't win the world title, Manny, but if he wins this heat, he's up against Pierre tomorrow. We've heard Jared say that Pierre, in Jared Houston's eyes, is the best bodyboarder in the world at the moment. He would have the opportunity to face him in the quarterfinal.
Wow.
At 10-foot Fronton to decide the world title. That is the biggest world stage you could ever find. But there's still 25 minutes to go. There is a very, very talented Brazilian in the water, Eder Luciano. But there's the man of the moment. Look at PLC. Wow, respect for that guy. That was just an amazing composure he showed to progress through to the quarterfinals.
Yes, an incredible performance by both Elliot Morales and PLC. PLC still has his sights set on the world title, and all he has to do is beat one more person. That person will be the winner of this heat currently out in the water, Jared Houston and Eder Luciano. Look at how difficult it looks to get out of the water here. If you look to his left, we'll get back to it. Look at this. Whoa. Live action. Somebody pulled in and got shut down.
Whoa, Manny, I don't know who that was, but that was a big, powerful wave. And let's see who was in that, because they are yet to surface. It wasn't Jared Houston. I think that it was Eder Luciano. It's good to see that he's kicking out of it, because that was a heavy closeout, and that's going to suck the energy out of anyone. Nothing worse. Imagine copying that 6-foot wave on the head on the shallow reef. Then the judges read out 1.0 is all we'll give you.
I know.
Luciano.
All right, Eder Luciano from Brazil. This guy has been one of the top contenders on the entire tour, and unfortunately, he's not a world title contender, but he has a chance to face off with a potential world title or world title player, and that is PLC if he advances out of this heat. Eder Luciano can definitely pull it off.
Oh, for sure. And look, Eder had a lot of pressure coming into this contest. He had a solid year, but he was still at risk of not qualifying for the top 24 for next year. He needed to make round 4 to ensure himself a ticket on next year's World Tour. He raised to the pressure and the occasion, and he did that. So, full respect to Eder, but look, he's a very, very talented and driven person. I'm sure he's got bigger aspirations than just round 4, and he would love nothing more than to be in that quarterfinal world title decider with Pierre-Louis Costes tomorrow, because that's what it comes down to, Manny. Tomorrow we're checking in. We have 8 people left in this competition, but Pierre...
Wow, look at this. Nice clean wave. Jared Houston comes off the top. Nice spin. Pulls it off. Trying to get back into the wave. Oh! Finds that inside section and airdrops back into the pocket. And Jared Houston going for a forwards air spin on the outside and tries to get something going on the inside.
Yeah, I don't think he timed it perfectly, and he wouldn't have got the projection he wanted. But he landed on top of the lip. The judges were thinking, did he fall off the back? But just to prove that he didn't, he continued to ride that wave and dropped into that inside section we saw. That's that same inside section that Elliot Morales rode those barrels on. But Manny, let's have a look at the Jared Houston replay. I think we're just rebooting the system to get it up and running. But the score has dropped for it though, Manny. It was a 4.0. Please talk us through it.
All right, you can see Jared Houston releasing his rail and then driving off the bottom. He wanted to get more airborne on that forward spin, air forward, and he just lost it and almost fell way behind the wave, and then air drops back into the pocket, holds onto this rail, and calls it quits right there. But he really wanted to get more airborne on that air forward spin. But a good wave nonetheless. The judges clocked him in at a 4.0.
Still 22 minutes to go. Jared Houston has 2 scoring waves, a combined score of 9.5, and Eder Luciano just the 1 wave, a 1.0.
All right, Eder paddling out, and it looks like nothing's on the horizon, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Once again, welcome everybody. We are winding down today's competition with heat number 8 of round number 4 here at the IBA 2011 NMD Pride Stealth Fronton Pro, brought to you by Grand Flavor. Manny V with Greg Taylor. Winding down today's event, it has been action-packed. Greg, unreal.
Oh, Manny, I've been through so many emotions today. First, we had the Hub story, then the Hardy story, and then the PLC story all unfold. I could not believe what we have been through here today. I'm just scratching my head. And again, but this is such an important heat because this is who Pierre will face in the quarterfinal tomorrow in 10 feet max in Fronton to decide the world title. So there is a lot at play, but amazing, amazing stuff. An amazing day. We've seen, unfortunately, Hardy bow out of the contention. PLC, he kept the dream alive. So we have 2 left. Hub, PLC, the Master, the Apprentice, whatever you want to call it. But look at this forecast, Benny.
Unbelievable. There is actually swell on the rise throughout tonight, and when we wake up, we're going to see low tide, massive Fronton. So what we will do is wait as the tide starts rising. I'm going to say the decision will be made tomorrow to run, but you know what? Stay tuned on IBAWorldTour.com to make sure you know if we are going live or not. I would love to see all these guys in the massive Fronton to determine a world title champion and a winner of the Fronton Pro. So, make sure you don't go anywhere. Some quarterfinal heats are shaping up to be absolutely amazing. Right now, in the water, Jared Houston in red, Eder Luciano in yellow. The winner of this heat will face off with PLC in quarterfinal number 4, and it is Eder or Jared who could be the spoiler for PLC.
Yeah, definitely. And just to clarify, Manny, tomorrow we are at high probability of running, but it's going to be similar timing to today. When waves are 10 feet out here, you need to make sure that they've got a high tide because it is a super dangerous wave. And here we go. So what we need is about 11 a.m. local Canarian time. We will make a call on whether we are going to run on Tuesday. If not, we'll be running on Wednesday. But the whole world wants to see it happen tomorrow in 10 feet waves. We've just got to wake up, cross our fingers. We'll be down here at 9 o'clock, checking the conditions, updating you on the website and Facebook so you can plan your day. But the most likely scenario is we will run tomorrow, kick off around 11 a.m. local time, but from 9 a.m. we'll have updates for you.
Greg, check this out. We got downstairs with Shaggy, the winner of the last heat. It is PLC. Shaggy, brother, where you at?
I'm down here as Pierre Louis Cross. Pierre, congratulations on winning the last heat.
Oh, thanks, Shaggy. It was that heat was insane. Elliot is so good out there. I was so scared of that heat, and I'm so relieved that I beat him. Whew.
Well, one more heat to go, and it's all yours. But before we do that, let's talk about that air reverse you did.
Yeah, the air reverse backflip. Yeah, the air reverse was I think it was my third wave. I know that the judges wants to see something different than air reverse and backflip, so I knew that once I got my two waves, I was going to try air forwards or air reverse, and I got that section. It was not the best section for an air reverse, but I got lucky to pop it enough.
You seem very relieved.
Yeah, I'm relieved, but at the same time, pressure is even stronger now because it's just one hit away. It's like all I have to do is beat one guy to be world champion. After such a year like this, that would be amazing.
Well, congratulations once again, Pierre. I'll let you go relax and say hi to all your friends over there. And yeah, just a little shout out to France.
Yeah, my mom is watching right now. She must be jumping out of a chair. And je veux juste donner des gros bisous à ma maman et mon papa, à toute ma famille qui regarde, mes amis. Plus qu'une série, voilà, pour ramener le titre en France.
Well done, Pierre. Back to you guys.
Wow, he is a happy camper right now. I mean, he is only 2 waves away from becoming the 2011 IBA Grand Slam Series world champion. So PLC will wait for his next heat. He will go against the winner of this heat, currently out in the water, Jared Houston or Eder Luciano.
Yeah, look, we saw both Eder and Jared just catch a couple of waves while that interview was on, but they were bigger, they pushed too wide, and Jared Houston got a 1.05 and Eder a 1.1, so didn't really trouble the scorers too much. 16.5 minutes remaining. Eder Luciano needs an 8.4 to jump into first, but my guess with that amount of time, he's still got 2 waves up his sleeve, and a 9.5 combined score for Jared Houston may not be enough to hold down first position, so he's got to get back out there and improve on his second scoring wave of a 4.0. But Eder Luciano is out there in priority. But just to clarify the scenario, Pierre-Louis Costes needs to qualify into the semi-final, which means he must win his man-on-man, head-to-head quarterfinal tomorrow against the winner of this heat. That is going to go down in massive waves, and we're going to be talking about, not only tomorrow, we're going to be talking about today for years to come. I can't believe, think of some of the stories that have unfolded today.
Oh, it's just been amazing. I mean, we saw Jeff Hubbard. He only had to advance out of a couple heats as well to, get that world title, and that just slipped out of his hands as Jason Finlay, a wild card, came in and, beat Jeff Hubbard.
In the last 10 seconds of the heat.
In the last 10 seconds of the heat. And then we saw Ryan Hardy going against fellow Australian. As hard as it was for Mitch Rollins to step up to the plate and compete against his buddy, his friend, and the person who could possibly get a world title, he did what I think every competitor should and would do, and that's go out and compete. So Mitch Rollins taking out Ryan Hardy. Now, it was PLC who went head-to-head with a local legendary kid. He's only 20 years old, and Elliot Morales,
that
unfortunately,
came down to the buzzer again, Manny. We all thought Pierre was safe. Then on the buzzer, the local kid picked off another inside wave. It's been the same inside wave that we saw Jace Finlay knock out Jeff Hubbard with, and we all held our breath collectively. Then we saw him ride through 3 barrel sections, and gee, the world was nervous, thinking, has he just knocked out the world title aspirations. But let's have a look at that replay, Manny. I think we're going to see it shortly.
This was Elliot Morales' last wave in the last minute of the heat, and I thought he was going to be able to pull it off. Not only did he get one barrel, he snuck into another section for another barrel. I thought it was over, but no, Elliot finds another barrel on the inside shallow section on the right-hand wave here at Fronton, and he was pretty stoked on that one. He even threw in a little quick roll as he bailed off of that wave. So Elliot Morales, I thought he was going to pull it off with that one, but a great wave nonetheless. He did not go down in vain.
And don't forget again that Ryan Hardy heat where we saw him lose his fin and all that scenarios and stress that he was under. And Mitch Rollins, people are questioning, was Mitch going to come out and win that? And he just surfed. I saw Mitch after that heat, and look, he was pretty diplomatic about it. He just said, look, it's competition, and it's happened to me many times in the past before. So he, as we said, before the heat went into water and after the heat, he went out there to win that heat. He knew the scenario, but you could see by the way he was surfing. And once he had that lead, he sat out there and protected that lead and waited for the big wave. And Mitch Rawlins cracked it out. But look, Manny, we've got so much at play still here, but 2012 is really shaping up as an exciting year. And, people are already talking about what's happening. We've got the wall calendar, the IBA wall calendar, which has the dates and amazing images of all this year's events. But more importantly, this is the place where you can find out where the events are next year, what dates. But Jared Houston up and riding. Oh,
Jared Houston, the South African in the red jersey, bumps off, finds a little chop, but keeps his rail and drives through the lip. Oh, I'm at loss for words because there's so much that just happened right now. Jared Houston maintaining his line, even though there's a wind chop in the middle face of the wave, and still punches through and pulls off the maneuver. So Jared Houston, a great way to hold on to that rail, and smooth wave for Jared Houston. Whoa.
Yeah, let's have a look at this replay. Very smart surfing by Jared Houston. This is a big wave, presents a nice lip. I'm sure he was tempted to go up and do the high-risk manoeuvre, but he knows he's got to get through this heat. Gets up, big, powerful roll, and lands in that section. We've seen so many people lose control when that whitewash hits you. He held on for dear life. The judges rewarded that, 5.25. And now, with 12 minutes to go, Eder Luciano needs a 9.65 to jump into first. And my guess is Eder was a little bit rocked. We saw him get that big set earlier on, Manny, and he copped a nasty closeout on the head. And I'm sure he's still just regrouping himself, but he's still got 11 and a half minutes to get a two-score combination.
Exactly. I mean, he does have 2 points. I mean, 2 waves, but totaling a 2.1, which is, he needs to wake up. He needs to get back into form, because time is melting away for Eder Luciano, the Brazilian. So it's not over till it's over. So Jared Houston, he's pretty comfortable right now, and he's really comfortable right now, and that's where he wants to be.
Manny, he is, and he's out in the water. I'm sure he's got a big group of South African fans online watching, supporting him. You sent a questionnaire out to the riders. You asked Jared Houston, what is your home break? And name some of the up-and-coming riders from your home break. Jared Houston threw out a challenge to you. He's offered you €5 if you can pronounce the name correctly of his home break, and he's calling that 50 rand. So, Manny, over to you.
Oh, my. All right. Well, let me just start off with the names, and those guys are Wilder Schultz, Ian Viljoan, Armand Talijad, and Michael Houston Boss, and Ethan Kupam.
Manny, that wasn't the challenge. That's the easy part. The challenge for you is to name his favourite break. Can you please pronounce that for us?
All right. His home break, Dirtestein. So Dirtestein, or 3S-teen for life, is what he likes to call it. And, so since we're on the subject, big shout-out for Jared Houston. He says, what's up to Jared, Simon, Josh, Rufus, for supporting him no matter what. And also his parents have been behind him 100%. And they're his rocks, and his little brother and sister, and for sure his girlfriend, Natasha. So he's got a pretty strong following and a pretty epic support group. So shout out to Jared Houston's fans out there.
For sure, man. He's one of those, I've been talking about it all year, but there's that crop of 20, 21-year-old riders coming through the IBA World Tour ranks that he's just so exciting to watch. PLC is one of them. I guess he's leading the pack. Well, he is leading the pack. He's the world title contender. But that's that scenario we keep talking about. He has a huge rivalry with that other crop. You've got Jake Stone from Australia. You've got Jared Houston from South Africa. Different continents, same age group. They're all about a month apart in age. And they've got this huge rivalry against each other. And potentially we're going to see that go down. You're going to see potentially Jared Houston taking on PLC for the world title. And that is just going to emphasise that, that rivalry that these young cropper riders already have. But Eder Luciano, do not write him off. He's a huge talent, still has 9 minutes, and he's capable of anything. And so nobody is calling this heat over yet because Eder Luciano, let's see what he can do, but I'm calling he's capable of the 9.65. He's capable of anything.
Okay, question on our message board on ibaworldtour.com/live. Somebody asked, is PLC the campeón or not? PLC necesita ganar una más batería para ser campeón del mundo y va a competir con el ganador de esta batería, Eder Luciano or Jared Houston. So there you have it in Spanish, all
Well
wrapped
done,
up into one beautiful couple sentences. Here we go, up and riding. Eder Luciano dropping in.
Look at that. He wants to get around. He needs a big section to hit because that's what he's so strong at doing.
Wow, nothing there.
He rolls that one. Look, he's only trying to better a 1.0, so maybe that wave will do it, but it's definitely not a 9.65, and he's really feeling the pressure. But it'll be interesting to see how Jared handles this. It looks like he's paddling for this wave, but he's let it go. He's going to sit out there with priority and put the pressure on Eder. But Eder, a 1.35 for that last wave, so now he narrows the equation a little. He still needs a 9.4 to jump into first place, and time is running out for him. But let's just wait and see. There's still 7.5 minutes to go. Eder Luciano, my guess is we haven't seen a score over 9 in this whole day of competition. We've seen some amazing action go down. So Eder more than likely needs a 2-wave combination to jump into first place. He needs 7. He's got 7 minutes to do it, Manny, and we've seen all day it come down to the last 10 seconds of action, so I'm not going to call this heat over.
No, I mean, you cannot. We saw what happened earlier, and we can't do it until the last horn has rung. So, again, welcome everybody. Manny V here with Greg Taylor giving you the live feed from the IBA 2011 NMD Pride Stealth Fronton Pro, brought to you by Grand Flavor. And let me tell you something. This whole entire tour could not have shaped up and ended the way it is now. We have been seeing unbelievable historical events go down the entire year. And in great form, we ended here at one of the best bodyboarding waves on the planet, El Fronton, with world title championships on the line.
For sure, Manny. And it's the thing that I'm getting excited about. This is the last heat of today. We will be back tomorrow. The forecast is bigger, wilder conditions, and we are yet to crown our world champion. We've had 8 stops. We've gone around the world. We've been blessed by the waves. Who can forget? Well, Pipeline was amazing, but then we went to the box, amazing. But Chile, Mexico, people will never forget some of those heats that went down there, and some of those sections that we hit. That GT at Chile, Jared Houston at Mexico, putting it all on the line for this world title, and it has come down to this last day, the last day of competition after 8 rounds. To break it down further, Manny, on average we have 5 days of competition per event. So we've got 40 days of competition, and it's come down to the final day. And as you say, what better place to finish it than at El Fronton? We're going to see El Fronton deliver all of its hype and magic tomorrow. 10 feet.
I'm nervous. I'm actually
in, be ready.
I'm a little nervous. I mean, it's going to be massive, and it's a competition, so these guys aren't going to hold anything back. They want a Fronton title, and there are going to be people here, or PLC is going to want a world title. So it's going to be pretty hectic tomorrow.
Pretty hectic, Manny. It is going to be amazingly hectic. But as I said, we've still got 5 minutes remaining here. We are anxiously watching this heat to see who Pierre will face in the quarterfinals tomorrow to decide the IBA 2011 Grand Slam Series world title. Jeff Hub, he's still in contention. Unfortunately, we've seen GT and Hardy bow out of contention as the event unfolded. But we have 2 left. That is for sure. PLC v Hub. It's going to come down to the final day. Hub is out of the competition. He cannot do anything but have a restless night's sleep tonight, come down and watch. But let's talk about some of the heats we've got tomorrow. Wait, we've got paddling here. Yellow, Manny, talk us through.
Yes, Eder Luciano in the yellow jersey, the Brazilian, sliding in under the pocket, finds a little section, goes through the lip, a roll, and is he going to get into that inside section? No, Eder Luciano, again, his bolts are coming loose, and this is not the time to do it. But unfortunately, Eder Luciano winding down, 4 minutes to go, and he needs to come back right now. I mean, it's still possible. If he can catch another solid wave, followed by one more, I think he can probably pull it off. But Jared Houston, he can pull his stretch. You know, he can stretch it out a little further from Eder Luciano if he gets a solid wave. Look at the reef. Now the tide is starting
low, Manny.
It's starting to drop again.
But Manny, it's become more of a pressure cooker situation for Jared Houston. That last wave of Eder Luciano's was a 3.75.
Yep.
So now all he needs is a 7.0 ride to jump into first place and progress onto the quarterfinals. He is very capable of that. There's 3.5 minutes to go. Jared Houston is holding down priority, and he's got all the pressure on him. Jared Houston wants to better a 5.25 to extend his lead, but I think the smartest thing he'll do is try to hold priority. But you've seen in the previous heats, some of these smaller inside waves create huge scoring potential. The Jace Finlay air spin, the Elliot Morales triple barrel, these amazing scenarios can go down under your guard. So Jared cannot sit out there and relax. But you've got Eder Luciano, 3 minutes. He's made his way back out to the lineup. And there's a couple of legends of the sport. You've got Ure Martinez up there talking with, is it Ure Martinez? It is Ure Martinez.
Yep.
And Andrew Lester sitting there. He's saying, hey, Andy, well done, mate. Congratulations. I can't wait to see you surf tomorrow. And let's talk about some of those heats, Manny. Next, first quarterfinal. Jason Finlay from Australia takes on Dallas Singer. There's Pierre. He's celebrating. And out in the lineup, we're still just waiting for 2.5 minutes to go. A little kiss for the potential world champion. Second heat, Amaury Laverne, current world champion, takes on Andrew Lester, the winner of the trials, who's progressed all the way through. Then we've got Mitch Rawlins taking on former world champion from Brazil, Yuri Valadao, in quarterfinal 3. Then quarterfinal 4, Manny, the world title is going to be decided. We know for sure PLC's in there. Who will he face to decide the world champion?
Right now, it looks like Jared Houston in the red jersey is going to be that person with 2 minutes remaining. Eder Luciano has to come up with a 7.0 if he wants to be that person. It's going to be who will face off against PLC, Jared Houston or Eder Luciano. One of these two could be the spoiler to ruin PLC's world title dream. So who will it be? Jared Houston, Eder Luciano? We will find out in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Time is winding down. Ryan Hardy, unfortunately. Oh, and Jeff Hubbard. Now they're talking.
Now they're talking. They've been talking the whole time. They've done an amazing job of pre-media, and they've been ultimate professionals all the way to the lead up to this event during the pressure cooker situation as they bowed out of their round 4 heats today. But look, you know, they're two absolute legends of the sport. Unfortunately, Hardy's no longer in contention for that title. Jeff Hubbard is. He's sitting here watching this. He's sitting there. But how amazing is this sport, Manny? These guys have got it all on the line, but they're all mates. That's just the beauty of bodyboarding, is that it's that culture, is that there's no egos, there's no agenda. It's just amazing. But let's focus on the situation. We have 40 seconds remaining. Jared Houston holding down the lead. End priority. Eder Luciano needs a 7-point ride in the last 30 seconds to progress to the quarterfinal. He's anxiously looking there. Jared, turn around. Keep your eye on him, son, because he's capable of anything. 20 seconds to go. Who's going to win this one, Manny?
Oh, it's coming down to the wire again. Heat number 8 of round number 4 out in the water. Eder Luciano waiting patiently, but it is Jared Houston, I believe, who has priority, who can knock off Eder Luciano.
10 seconds, Manny.
5 seconds.
Jared's going to finish this with a bang. He's going to paddle into this one. He has to.
Oh, he caught it under the bell. Jared Houston finds a nice, clean wave, comes off the bottom, goes for a big spin, goes through the lip, and that solidifies his win in this heat. We're going to see Jared Houston on the inside with another roll. Woo! A solid wave right there. Jared Houston just nailed the last nail in the coffin in that heat, taking out Eder Luciano, which means Jared Houston will face off
PLC, look at this, man. Yeah, this is a warning signal to Pierre-Louis Costes. Pierre, it is not yours yet. I'm coming to get you, says
Look,
Jared.
beautiful.
Big, nice air spin. 9.0 for Jared Houston.
Wow.
Highest score of the day. Pierre-Louis Costes will not sleep easy. He knows he has got one of the most talented young riders in the world to face in the quarterfinal to win his world title. Jared Houston, congratulations. Eder Luciano was combinationed in the end, but a 9.0 ride, and PLC just watched his competitor in the quarterfinal bust out a 9.0 on the final wave of what has been an amazing day of competition, Manny Vargas.